It's weird that I never think of the Nutcracker as a Christmas thing. But it clearly is. Like, the movie I'm talking about today, Nutcracker Fantasy, if you look at Christmas movies, it's in there. And the Nutcracker itself, it became popular as a Christmas toy. And that's how it got associated with Christmas. And then there was the original short story that was written, and then there were remakes of that short story. And then, of course, there was the ballet, which I think when you think of the Nutcracker, that's where people's minds go to, the ballet itself. That's usually what's being adapted in whatever version of the story that you see. And this specific movie, I don't have that much production information about it. Maybe it's out there in Japanese, but I do want to highlight it because not only is the movie good, I think it's super fun, it's creative, it's filled with imagination and kind of like wild visual sights. It's also shining a light on a group of creatives that never got the respect that they deserve. You know, all those classic Christmas stop-motion animated things that you associate with Rankin and Bass? Yeah, Japanese crews did most of those things, and they rarely got credited on them. And if their names maybe appeared somewhere, it would be like completely misspelled. The director of Nutcracker Fantasy, Takeo Nakamura, to make his own production that looks like Rankin Bass, that feels like Rankin Bass, because all of the creative people who did all those specials, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, are the ones making Nutcracker Fantasy. I could not find that much information about this. I looked. I even have the Blu-ray that I bought when I went to Sanrio Land, who is the company that owns Hello Kitty, and that they have their own theme park. And when I went to the theme park, I found the re-release they did of the film in 3D. I bought the way too expensive Blu-ray 3-disc set and every special feature on it, and it advertises hundreds of minutes of special features are just the new cast talking on stage. So really this video is just to point you in that direction and also to highlight that almost all those Rankin Bass specials, all created by Japanese teams, they have been like lost in the history books for so long to the point that like some of them are credited to Rankin and Bass as the directors. What? No. I mean, even Mushi Pro, the people who did Astro Boy, the company that Tezuka did, they animated the Frosty the Snowman special. Now, a lot of people who work on it thought it was the death knell of their company because they were working on that. Yes, but they should still be credited on it. And it just goes to show that like all the stuff that we loved as kids that were canonical weren't even from English-speaking creatives. Maybe those English-speaking people put it into effect, but it was all the Japanese crews that did it, and you can see it in Nutcracker Fantasy. I wish I could say more about Nutcracker itself, but like I said at the beginning, I'm not that familiar with the story other than the broad outlines. It was never something that like was a classic to me, the general story, not this movie. If I had saw this movie when I was a kid, as a super fan of stop motion, I would have watched it again and again and again and again. It did get released in an English dub, but there are many versions of Nutcracker Fantasy out there. I would look for on YouTube, there's probably one you can find complete. Like when Sanrio put it out in a 3D remaster, they cut out tons of stuff. And it's like, why? You want to watch the longest version, and I would probably watch it in Japanese. You can watch it in English if you saw it that way originally and you want to show it to kids. I think it really holds up. It is a little scary. There's like a new character that they introduced who's a bit of a threat, but it's mostly like princesses. It's an isekai. And I should say that this version actually does not take place on Christmas Eve. You know, the classic Nutcracker stories usually start on Christmas Eve, and it's the main character being shrunken down to go play with all of her toys. Not this version. It's a little bit different, but look, Nutcracker, considered a Christmas classic, so if it's the story of the Nutcracker, it's going to be considered a Christmas movie. And really, at the end of the day, I just want more people to watch Nutcracker Fantasy. Again, super easy to watch, Nutcracker Fantasy, type it in YouTube, it will come up. And I just gotta say, I love the songs in this movie. They're such bangers. I remember when the first time I watched it, I listened to them again and again and again. That's it for me. If you want more recommendations like this, I would check out the Important Cinema Club. Every week, me and my pal Will Sloan, we pick a different subject. Perhaps Rankin Bass will be done at some point. And we talk about it as like a crash course, introducing you to it, giving you the broad outline, pointing you in the right direction, and not being a huge info dump. So even if you haven't seen the things that we're talking about, that's kind of how it's designed. I hope you'll check it, listen, and become a fan for life. By watching this video, you have become a fan for life for the Important Cinema Club and Film Trap. Sorry, that's the contract. Thanks again for watching. I will see you tomorrow with another Christmas movie.